Imagine an ordinary morning at a construction site somewhere in China. Just a few years ago, this place would have looked completely familiar. Dozens of workers, the noise of machinery, foremen shouting, the chaotic movement of people and vehicles. But today, the picture is changing rapidly. Among the people, figures appear that move differently, too precisely, too smoothly, almost flawlessly. These are humanoid robots. And what until recently seemed like a futuristic scenario from science fiction is now turning into a new industrial reality. China is entering a phase that many analysts are already calling a construction revolution. And at the center of this revolution are not just automated machines, but full-fledged humanoid systems capable of performing tasks that were previously only possible for humans. These robots are not just lifting loads or performing narrowly specialized actions. They are being assigned bricklaying, welding of metal structures, installation of glass facades, painting, working at heights, and even precise operations that require coordination and adaptation to the environment. The reason for this sharp shift toward robotization lies in several factors at once. First, China is facing demographic changes. The workforce is gradually shrinking, while the demands for construction speed are only increasing. Second, competition between construction companies has reached a level where efficiency becomes a key factor for survival. And third, China's technological base has reached the point where humanoid robots have ceased to be an experiment and have begun to become an economically viable tool. One of the key players in this new industrial race is the robots of Unitree. Initially known for its robot dogs, the company has made a sharp leap by introducing a new generation of humanoid platforms. These machines are already demonstrating a level of mobility and balance that allows them to operate in conditions close to human ones as possible. Unitree robots are capable of moving across uneven surfaces, climbing stairs, maintaining balance while carrying heavy objects, and performing complex manipulations with their hands. Their design is optimized for real construction conditions: dust, vibrations, temperature fluctuations, and constant movement. Unlike classical industrial robots that operate in strictly controlled environments, Unitree humanoids were created specifically for the chaos of the real world. This is exactly what makes them a key element of the current transformation. A construction site is one of the most difficult environments to automate. There are no perfectly straight lines here. The situation is constantly changing. Unpredictable situations arise, and every action requires adaptation. Until recently, it was believed that this field would remain in human hands the longest. But today, this assumption is beginning to collapse. According to contractors who have already implemented humanoid robots into their processes, the efficiency of some operations has increased by tens of %. Robots do not get tired, do not require breaks, do not make random mistakes due to fatigue, and can work in dangerous conditions where the risk for humans is too high. For example, installing glass panels at height or working with heavy metal structures, tasks that previously required high qualifications and were associated with risk, are now gradually being transferred to machines. However, it is important to understand that at the current stage, robots do not completely replace humans. They work in conjunction with people. Workers control the process, set parameters, and intervene in complex situations. But the very structure of labor is already changing. Humans are gradually moving from physically performing tasks to managing and controlling them. This is a fundamental change. Historically, the construction industry has always been one of the most labor-intensive. Millions of people around the world are involved in it. And if humanoid robots can truly take on a significant portion of these tasks, the consequences will be enormous. China is essentially becoming a testing ground for this transformation. The scale of construction in the country is immense. New cities, infrastructure, skyscrapers, transport hubs, all of this requires incredible volumes of work. And it is precisely here that technologies undergo their first real-world test. Interestingly, development is moving not only in the direction of the robots themselves, but also toward their integration into a broader digital ecosystem. Modern construction sites in China are increasingly using computer vision systems, cloud-based management platforms, and digital twins of buildings. Robots are becoming part of this system. They receive data in real time, adjust their actions, and interact with other machines and humans. In effect, we are witnessing the birth of a new construction model, where physical labor is gradually being replaced by the synchronized operation of autonomous systems. This is not just the automation of individual processes, it is a complete restructuring of the entire logic of production. And here, an important question arises: how far can this process go? If we look at the current dynamics, it becomes clear that development is accelerating. Just a few years ago, humanoid robots could barely walk confidently. Today, they are already performing real tasks on construction sites. Tomorrow, they will do this faster, more accurately, and more cheaply. The economic factor plays a key role here. As soon as the cost of operating a robot becomes lower than the cost of human labor, mass adoption begins. And many experts believe that this moment is already close. In China, where the state actively supports technological initiatives, this transition may happen faster than in other countries. But along with this, concern is also growing, because this is not just about replacing individual professions, it is about transforming entire industries. Construction is only the beginning. The same technologies can be applied in logistics, manufacturing, services, and agriculture. The humanoid form of robots plays a key role here. It allows them to be used within existing infrastructure designed for humans. They do not need the world to be rebuilt for them. They adapt to our world, and this significantly accelerates adoption. Returning to Unitree, it is worth noting that their strategy is focused on maximum scalability. The company is betting on reducing production costs and achieving mass manufacturing. This is critically important because scale is what determines the speed of the revolution. If humanoid robots remain expensive and rare, they will only be used in limited scenarios. But if they become accessible, their spread could be explosive. And this is exactly what we are beginning to observe. At some construction sites in China, it is already possible to see dozens of robots working simultaneously. They perform different tasks, coordinate with each other, and gradually displace traditional working methods. This is not yet a widespread phenomenon, but the trend is obvious. And it is important to emphasize, China is not just implementing technologies, it is shaping a new standard. Just as the country once became a global leader in manufacturing and infrastructure, it is now striving to become a leader in robotics. For the rest of the world, this is a signal, because if the model proves successful, it will be quickly replicated. Companies in other countries will begin adopting similar solutions to remain competitive, and the process will become global. But along with this, a question arises about the future of humans in this new system. If machines take on more and more tasks, what role remains for people? The answer to this question is not yet clear. On one hand, new professions are emerging: engineers, operators, developers, and specialists in maintaining robotic systems. On the other hand, traditional jobs are disappearing, and the balance between these processes will determine the social consequences of the technological revolution. History shows that every technological wave brings both new opportunities and new challenges. Steam engines, electricity, computers, all of them change the world and the structure of employment. But the speed of the current changes may turn out to be unprecedented.